Bean. All righty. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are ya? How's the coffee? The coffee's delish. Coffee's delish. I really don't even have that much of it. Oh. I don't even have that much of it, you know. You know, as soon as I start talking, Luigi, who is in the deepest sleep she's ever had, goes, you know what? I'm going to wake up. I'm going to talk. I'm going to ruin your day. Just kidding. What's the vid on today? Oh, shut the fuck up. Come on, Nelson. It's on war. It's on World War III. Hold on, let me let Luigi in here. In the meantime, you guys want to play with the chair, or do you want... Here, fuck you. Here's an advertisement while I go let Luigi in.
Hey there, you! Yeah, you! You tired of your boring, plain old wardrobe? Do you want to stand out in the crowd? You want to make heads turn, jaws drop, and hearts skip a beat? Well, have I got the deal of the century for you? ValentiVideos.myshopify.com is here with the merch explosion that'll blow your socks off and change your life. Check it out! We've got exclusive gear from the cutting edge of fashion. T-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and much more that'll make you be thinking, well, hell, where'd you get that? And guess what? You can get yours right now with just one click. That's right, don't wait. Act now, and you can be a proud owner of the hottest merch on the planet. Whether you're looking to chill out, stand out, or just feel like $1,000,000, we've got something for you. And hey, I know what you're thinking, but what about the price? Well, let me tell you, these prices are so low that you'd think we were giving it away for free. Now, get ready to rock the best merch in town. And check out ValentiVideos.myshopify.com for your destination to greatness. I'll see you there, friend. Hurry up.
Chris Valenti Videos is not responsible for any sudden increase in class consciousness that may occur as a result of wearing this merch. If you find yourself beginning to deeply care for your fellow person, quickly continue to wear all products from Valenti Videos as your empathy grows. Drinking from Valenti Videos mugs may invoke a quiet sense of awe for the entirety of humanity as you decide to dedicate the rest of your living existence to the betterment of those who have less than you. Also, you may get a brief but meaningful stiffy. Please enjoy Valenti Videos responsibly.
What's up, everybody? All right, that was good enough. Give me a little time to let Luigi in here. Yes, we do have a lot to talk about. Yes, Azerbaijan airport was struck by a drone. The war has officially left the region. That wasn't even really what did it. It was the fact that we sunk an Iranian naval ship that was a non-combatant off the coast of Sri Lanka. And then now a whole bunch of Iranian bodies are washing up on the shore of Sri Lanka. So the war has officially left the region. And as I've been saying, as you know, Kyle Kalinske has been saying, this is turning into a world war. And it's becoming increasingly more possible that Israel and the United States will nuke Iran. I wish I was joking. I wish I was fear-mongering, genuinely. And part of the reason why it's looking like we might actually fucking nuke Iran is because of the cost. You know, like, this is costing us so much money. It's costing us over $1 billion a day, right? We've already spent like $5.5 billion in this war, and it's like, what, day 5 or some shit? And on top of that, you know, Trump is insane, and Bibi Netanyahu is like an actual psychopath, you know, like they are more than willing to use nuclear weapons. And this wouldn't be the first time that Israel threatened to nuke Iran. I mean, Israel threatened to nuke Iran so many fucking times back in the 80s and the 90s. It's insane. It's insane. Yeah, we're spending like $1.1 to $1.2 billion a day, you know, and maybe I should start recording just to talk about this. All right, let me get this point out. We just legitimized the Shia population. We just legitimized Islamic extremism, right? Because I want you to imagine, right? I hate Donald Trump. I know all of you hate Donald Trump. But I want you to imagine that China bombs Washington, D.C., kills the president, kills the entirety of Congress, kills the vice president, kills the president's kids, right? Keeps on carpet bombing D.C., kills thousands of people, bombs a school, kills 185 little girls, destroys our infrastructure, destroys our navy. Like, I want you to really imagine that China does that to us. Despite how much we all hate Donald Trump, do you understand how quickly we would become radical American extremists? You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? This is what we have done to the entire Shia pop, or not the entire Shia population, a large, like the ones who live in fucking cities are a little bit more secular, less extreme. Luigi, okay? Yeah, she just wants to, I'll give her a bone. She's just sitting there. What do you want? What do you want? She wants a bone. But do you understand what I'm saying? Like, we just turned the entire younger generation of Iran, who didn't understand why their parents hate America so much. Now they understand. Now they understand. Let me go get her a little treat. One second. All right. I have a question of a draft. If a draft was imposed, do we still hate the people that get drafted? Listen, I have no respect for a single U.S. service member who fights in this illegal Jeffrey Epstein war for the axis of Epstein. Like, nah, unfortunately, I will not respect anybody, even if they're fucking drafted. People don't understand that even if you're drafted, you still don't have to go. You will be given an option, prison or war. Choose prison. At least you get to fucking live. So yeah, no, I will not respect anybody who serves in Iran. I won't respect them at all. Ugh. Yeah, now the best thing you could do is take the training and then go AWOL. So when is Barron getting drafted? We don't send the rich to fight and die. We send the poor, the impoverished, the disenfranchised, black, brown. We do not send the rich. We only send the poor. I have that clip. All right, I think that we should just dive in. You know what we'll do? Before we dive in, I want to watch this with you guys. I don't know if you saw this, but Dr. Zhang, Chinese professor who uses game theory to predict the future, he accurately predicted Donald Trump winning the election. He accurately predicted Donald Trump starting a war with Iran. And his next prediction is that we will lose this war with Iran. Well, he went on Breaking Points, Crystal and Sagar, and I think this is one of their most watched videos of all time now. Look at that. 5.3 million fucking views in 3 days. And listen, I watched the first half of this, and he's got to be one of the smartest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. He's got to be one of the smartest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. We don't send recruiters to private schools. Ain't that the damn truth? So what we're going to do is we're going to watch this together live. I'm not going to put this in the video because it's like 15 minutes long. Smarter than me? Way smarter than me. Guys, I think you need to remember, I majored in history and I minored in political science, right? So I understand what he's doing. It's Predictive History. That's the name of his fucking channel. If you look at history, if you study history long enough, you can predict the future. He's way smarter than me, okay? You got to watch this, all right? We're going to watch this together.
All right, guys, we've got yet another
God damn, Crystal, fuck you. You're so loud. Just kidding. I love you, Crystal Paul. I love you. Her name is Crystal Ball. This is Kyle Kalinski's wife, by the way. If you guys don't know, Kyle Kalinske, Secular Talk, the commander of the Dark Woke Legion, you know, my Lisan Al-Gaib, this is his fucking wife. All right, so they are a power duo together. And I love the fact that he does one thing and she does another. Yes, they come together for certain episodes, but I do love the fact that individually they are fucking powerhouses and together they make like the strongest fucking team I've ever seen. These two are fucking legendary, dude. I could only pray to have a relationship like that. All right, let's watch.
And first-time guest on the show, Professor Zhang. He is the star of the popular YouTube channel Predictive History.
Just so you know, this guy straight up name drops the Illuminati in this video. I'm not even kidding. He's like, clearly this world is run by shadow governments. One of them, better known as the Illuminati. Like, dude, it's fucking crazy.
Uses game theory to analyze past, current, and to predict future geopolitical events. And he joins us now. Professor, great to have you.
Good to see you, sir.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. So, for
Tussie.
people who aren't familiar with your work, I wanted to show folks that back in
Run for president when? I'm 28 years old, son. If we can last long enough for me to turn 35, I'll run then.
You made 3 big predictions.
Oh, and I also have literally made a blood oath to my Norse altar to Loki, Thor, and Odin. And I said, if Nick Fuentes, because we're the same age, if Nick Fuentes ever runs for president, I will run. Just to make sure that he doesn't become the fucking president. And also, I'll literally run on the whole thing where I'm saying, I'll literally run on this. I'll go, I don't want to be doing this. By all accounts, I should have a plot of land, a wife, 2 kids, a car, a dog, and a white picket fence. But no, instead, my generation is doing a fucking blood sacrifice to Moloch and Baal in the name of Bibi Netanyahu and Jeffrey Epstein because our pedophile president is blackmailed to the high heavens. So now I have to spend my fucking time running for president. I don't want to fucking do this, but I don't trust any of you slimeball cocksuckers in either the Democrat or Republican Party to do fucking anything properly. So we're gonna have to come in there and change the entire fucking system.
1, that Trump would win. 2, that he would start a war with Iran. And 3,
top 3 most important platforms: YouTube, Instagram. That's it.
That the U.S. would lose.
Oh, Patreon, YouTube, Instagram, Patreon.
That war. Let's take a listen to that.
In this class this semester, I'm making 3 big predictions, right? First is that Trump will win in November.
This is filmed in before Trump won.
Second is that the United States will go to war against Iran. And the third big prediction is that the United States will lose this war, which will forever change
You on
the
TikTok?
global
No.
order.
So obviously that last one
I got
is,
banned at 3 million followers. Then I made a new account, and then I got banned at 500,000 followers.
is the only one that has not yet come to fruition. Is quite a stunning prediction. You know, do you stand by it? And what have you seen so far that leads you to sort of stand firm in that conclusion?
So given my analysis of how the war is progressing, I think that Iran has many more advantages over the United States. The reality is that right now, it's a war of attrition between the United States and Iran. And the Iranians have been preparing 20 years for this conflict. In their eschatology, in their religion, this is a war against the great Satan. They've had many practice runs. Last June was a 12-day war when the Iranians were able to examine and analyze the strike capacities of both the Israelis and the Americans. And they've had a lot of time, 8 months, to prepare fully.
When does he think World War III will happen, if he ever said his thoughts on it? I'm pretty sure he's in the same mindset as me that this is World War III. World War III already began. It actually began 8 months ago with the Operation Midnight Hammer, right? That was the beginning, the prelude to World War III. I'll be 35 in 2028. Everything Chris just said, I also agree with. I would think about running, but elections are a thing of the past. I agree.
For this new attack, they, through their proxies, the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Shia militias, have been able to really grasp the American mentality, and now they have a pretty good strategy of how to weaken and ultimately destroy the American empire. So what the Iranians are doing is they're waging
Just
war.
so you understand, guys, I understand that, like, you know, governments are, you know, incredibly powerful entities and there are shadow governments that are running the shit. But you can and must attribute the blame for World War III on everybody who voted for Donald Trump. Your family members, your friends, and I've been doing the same thing. You have to make them understand that even though they are not the president, every single fucking one of them is to blame for this. All 77 million. All of them. They all bear the responsibility, and you must make sure that they understand that. You cannot let them live a single moment of peace for the rest of their lives. They need to know that they started World War III, they vehemently support a pedophile, and they are responsible for the blood of fucking hundreds, if not thousands of Americans that will die defending fucking Israel. You cannot forgive them. You cannot fucking forgive them. Otherwise, we will repeat this. We will repeat this entire fucking process. We will go through this again.
Against the entire global economy. And so they are striking the GCC countries. And not only are they striking GCC countries, American bases, but they're going after the critical energy infrastructure.
I think GCC countries are Gulf coastal coalitions. It's like Bahrain and Kuwait and fucking, what are the other ones? Hold on. Gulf Cooperation Council, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. All right, so this is really important what he's about to say. What is this? Oh, that's the Dakitussi.
Of these bases, they blocked off the Strait of Hormuz, and eventually they will go after the water desalination plants, which is the lifeblood of these nations because they don't have fresh.
Iran could take out the GCC water salination plants with one single Iranian drone, right? Now those water plants, I'm pretty sure that they provide 80% of the water to those 6 GCC nations, right? So we are literally going to watch Dubai go bankrupt and the beginning of a mass refugee crisis from those areas, including Iran. Luigi!
Water supply. In fact, the water desalination plant provides 60% of the GCC's water supply. So if a drone, and these drones cost $50,000, if they wiped out a desalination plant in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and it's a city of 10 million people, right? They'd be out of water in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. And right now, they're
2 fucking weeks, bro. So I hope you understand that, like, Iran is going to play the long game. They know how much Americans despise being in forever wars. They are going to play the long game. Iran is a fucking fortress, dude. It's a mountain fortress, right? They have underground tunnel systems. They got missiles and drones. They have so much shit buried deep within the mountains that even our bunker busters wouldn't be able to fucking destroy.
Have de facto closed off the Strait of Hormuz, and the GCC gets 90% of its food from
oh my God,
the Strait of Hormuz.
The GCC, these 6 nations get 90% of their food through the Strait of Hormuz. The Iranians shut down the Strait of Hormuz. They are going to strangle these fucking nations because they work alongside their great Satan, the United States of America. Like, we fucked up so fucking badly that I don't know if we're gonna make it out of this one. I do know that we're gonna lose this war. We're 100% gonna lose this war. And then what's gonna happen is the same shit that you see happening. How long ago was the Vietnam War? It's like 60 years ago. Even today, 60 years after the Vietnam War, you have these fucking bootlicking chuds who go, no, we won the Vietnam War. We killed 2 million of them. They killed only 50,000 of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will always have American bootlicking cucks claiming that we are incapable of losing a war, when in reality, we have, I'm not kidding, in our nation's history, we have never won a war by ourselves. And even with other countries' help, we haven't won a single war since, I mean, I was going to say World War II, but we barely participated in it. Yeah, no, we haven't won a single war since World War I, and we barely participated in it. We have literally never won a war without foreign help. We are incapable of winning a war without foreign help. And mainly it's because our troops are really bad at combat. That's, listen, if you're insulted and you're a GI, suck my fucking dick. Our troops are really bad at combat. What we are good at is indiscriminately bombing civilians, right? What our troops are good at is getting into a firefight, cowering in the corner, and calling in an airstrike. If we can't call in an airstrike, our troops get fucking bodied every single time, without fail.
So I know a lot of people are talking about the disruptions to the global economy, but right now the Iranians are actually threatening the very existence of Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Qatar. And why this is important is that the Gulf states are really the linchpin of the American economy. So what they do is they sell petrodollars and then they recycle.
These Gulf states prop up the AI bubble, and the AI bubble is propping up our entire economy. You are about to watch the entire United States economy collapse over fucking night. I'm not kidding. It's going to happen overnight. As soon as the Iranians decide to start bombing these fucking, they're already bombing these nations, but as soon as they start taking out the salination plants, as soon as they start taking out the, we're fucked. We're fucked. We're really, really fucked. And I hate to inform you, I hate to tell you that we're actually going to lose this war.
The petrodollars back into the American economy through the investments in the stock market. And right now, we know that the entire American economy is propped up by AI investments in data centers. And a lot of that comes from the Gulf states.
Yep.
So if the Gulf states are no longer able to sell oil, and they're no longer able to finance AI, this AI bubble in the United States, then this AI bubble will burst, and with it will burst as well the entire American economy, which is really a financial Ponzi scheme.
Right.
So that's a dire situation that the Americans are facing right now.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, sir, an Amazon data center was literally hit in the UAE. And now, of course, big tech companies, which were looking at the U.S.
Yes, because the Iranians understand that if you really want to fuck with the U.S., you really don't need to hit our bases. You need to hit our billionaires, like in their industries. Take out an Amazon plant, take out Saudi Aramco, target capitalism. If you want to make the U.S. bleed, you fuck with our profit. Listen, this is a pill that's going to be a little bit hard to swallow for some people here. In the United States of America, profit matters way more than human life. Like, if the government had two choices, and it was lose $3 million, lose $3 billion, or lose 50,000 troops, the overwhelming majority of the United States government would vote to let those troops die. So the Iranians understand that, and they go, okay, well, if we really want to make America bleed, fuck with their money, fuck with their oil flow, fuck with the billionaires, because this is end stage capitalism. You know, like GI watching this, your general does not give a fuck if you die. You are so unbelievably replaceable. You're not even a fucking person. You're just a weapon. That's not a joke. Like you do not have the same rights as me. I have way more fucking rights than you, bro. You gave up your rights when you signed that contract, and you are now considered a weapon owned by the United States military. They don't give a fuck if you die. And Donald and Pete Hegseth and JD, they want you to die because they want to use you as a martyr. They unironically want you to fucking die. That's why they're giddy as shit. That's why they were like, freedom ain't free. As soon as we found out 6 fucking soldiers died. This is the state of the world. If you want to make America bleed, you target the capitalist pigs. You do not need to target the soldiers.
UAE is a major potential data center investment hub with cheap and abundant energy. Probably going to be rethinking that. We also wanted to talk to you about munitions. We can put this next one up here on the screen. The United States is racing to accomplish Iran mission before munitions run out. This is specifically around interceptor math. There's a famous video just from yesterday in Israel, which shows a single Iranian ballistic missile, which is being targeted by some 11 different interceptors, all of which miss. Most of those come.
We watched that. 11 interceptors fired at a single Iranian missile and it missed. I want you to understand something. One of those missiles cost between $12.7 and $12.8 million. So let's go with 12.7, right? We fired 11 at them. 12.7 million times 11. $139 million were spent and failed. Remember that video we watched? Remember that video? A hypersonic missile hitting fucking Tel Aviv. We fired $139 million worth of interceptors and missed. Do you understand that? Do you understand that shit? Oh my God, it's so fucking bad. It's so fucking bad, dude.
From the United
Luigi!
States, not to mention all of the different bases, the GCC countries that you just talked about, and the asymmetry of the cost. It's $1 million for a missile, tens of millions per interceptor in some of these cases. With these munitions running out, how does that change the global picture? So you're in China, obviously, much of the stocks in Asia of the United States are likely to have to be cannibalized if this were to go on. How's that going to affect the global picture?
See what he just said about much of our munitions in Asia are going to have to be cannibalized, right? This is what I've been telling you, that all China has to do is wait. China will encircle Taiwan and wait. We will run out of ammunition firing on Iran, and then China can just waltz into Taiwan. We literally won't be able to do anything about it. Right now, say we weren't at war with Iran and we weren't at war with Ecuador. If you don't know this, Trump declared war on Ecuador yesterday. If we weren't at war with Cuba, if we weren't at war with all these nations, we would still only last 5 days in a hot war with China. So now, taking into account all of the money and all of the weapons that we are using, I am not even kidding. I think we would last 24 hours in a hot war with China. And again, I know a lot of Americans are going to cope, mauled, and seethe, but we are not the world's superpower. China is. China is leading the world in technology and in renewable energy. They have a stronger military. They have a larger military. The value of the US dollar is plummeting. Like, we are not the world's superpower. That is China. Cope, mauled, and seethe all you fucking want. I'm telling you an irrefutable fact.
Right. So my first point is that the United States military is not designed to fight a 21st century war.
Yep.
Remember, the military-industrial complex came to being after World War II, and it was designed to fight the Cold War. And the Cold War was really about muscle flexing, about who was able to send people up into space, who was the first to get the person on the moon, who had the more complex missile systems. And so the entire American military strategy revolves around very sophisticated technology that costs a lot of money to build, and that's what the American air defense system is basically, and that's why we're seeing this asymmetry, as you point out, in this war, where you have these $1 million missiles trying to take out these $50,000 drones, and it's not sustainable in the long term. And so what we're seeing is really the puncturing of the aura of invincibility and inevitability that sustained American hegemony for the past 20 years, especially after the collapse of the Soviet Union. And this is really a reordering of not just the global economy, because this signals the collapse of the petrodollar, and with it, the entire US dollar-based reserve currency system, but also the global hegemony of the United States. We're moving towards a multipolar world.
Professor, this morning, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth was asked a question about potential ground troops in Iran. He refused to rule out that possibility, and he said, oh, well, we're not going to project to you.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. We're probably going to send 50,000 ground troops to invade Iran alongside the Kurdish forces. That's probably what's going to happen, okay? We sent 200,000 to invade Iraq. Iraq is what, an eighth of the size of Iran? So we're going to send a quarter of the troops to invade a nation 8 times the size, and they are going to get fucking slaughtered.
What we will or will not do, what we don't.
When I say they, I mean American troops.
Want to, rule anything out. We will do what it takes. Do you think that America will end up invading Iran from the ground?
Absolutely.
It's already becoming relatively clear they won't be able to accomplish the goal of regime change or even regime collapse using just air power alone.
Right. So everyone says that the worst calamity that could happen in the United States is if it were to send ground troops into Iran. At the same time, the United States are committed to regime change in Iran. We've never had a precedent in history where you were able to regime change from the air alone. You need ground troops. And so unfortunately, what's going to happen over the next few months is that pressure will build on America to send ground troops, especially from the GCC countries and from Israel,
a loyalist.
which
Thank
are
you for the
being
5
countered right
memberships.
now by the Iranians. So remember that if the GCC countries, Saudi Arabia,
UAE,
Qatar, UAE, Bahrain, if they go, then the petrodollar goes with them. So the Americans need to protect these countries, and these countries are going to demand that either the Americans bribe the Iranians to cease, and this is like $5 trillion in indemnity, okay? Or send ground troops to wipe out the Iranian threat once and for all. And I know that there's no political will for ground troops to be used against Iran among the American people. But remember that 78% of American people was against initial strikes against Iran in the first place.
Right. And one of the things that really comes into question, I think, with all of this, sir, when we're looking at the geopolitical picture and the sacrificing in much of this from the United States on behalf of Israel, is kind of a question as to who and what wanted this. We were actually curious for your view on a disputed report here from the Washington Post. We can put it up here on the screen, F3. A push from the Saudis. Israel helped move Trump to attack Iran. Now, this has been internally disputed by Saudi Arabia, saying that they did not push the Trump administration to attack Iran. However, this is clearly an authorized leak from our own government, trying to at least lay some of the blame on behalf of the GCC. What do you make of this analysis and of this narrative that Saudi Arabia was also trying to be behind this push to bomb Iran?
So I've always argued that both Saudi Arabia and Israel are heavily invested in regime change in Iran. In fact, Saudi Arabia sees Iran as much more of an existential crisis than Israel. Because remember, Israel still has nuclear weapons, and Israel is a very diverse, very sophisticated economy, whereas Saudi Arabia is completely reliant on oil. And it's always had problems with Iran because Iran is a theocracy opposed to the Saudi monarchy. Iran funds and equips the Houthis, which have been antagonistic towards Saudi Arabia for the longest time. And
Go ahead,
right
Luigi.
now, the Saudi economy is suffering. It's been trying to pivot towards more of a tourist economy. That's why they brought in Ronaldo. That's why they're switching to e-gaming. That's why they're building something called a line, NEOM. And all these things are not working out. So they need to be able to control the oil resources of the entire Middle East. If they are to
This is Professor Zhang. He's a Chinese professor who studies game theory, and he accurately predicts the future. He accurately predicted that Trump would win the election. He accurately predicted that Trump would declare war with Iran. And he also predicts that we will lose this war with Iran.
survive and thrive as a
He's
nation.
the owner of Predictive History, which is a, I think a YouTube and Twitter account.
So I do believe that this reporting is credible, even though it does make Saudi Arabia look bad. But remember, Saudi Arabia says that they wanted peace, but they are helping the Israelis and the Americans attack Iran right now because they're allowing the Israelis and Americans to use Saudi airspace.
So help us understand, because it still feels to me like there's some pieces that don't totally add up. You had, in advance of this war on Iran, you had top military brass, up to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, saying, this is a really bad idea. You know, we are not ready for this. You know, all the math on the interceptors that's been talked about for months at this point. And yet Trump still decided to go ahead. What is the calculus that he was making here that led him to take what, you know, already appears to be catastrophic?
It wasn't really calculated. Donald Trump is a pedophile, sex trafficking, child rapist. That's just reality, right? And the Israelis have a vault in Tel Aviv with videos of him raping children. So he has never and will never say no to Israel. If he does, they'll just release that shit. That's the entire reason he became the president. The Israelis and Jeffrey Epstein made sure that he became the president of the United States so that they could finally do the regime change. Or it's not even a regime change, just destroy the entire nation of Iran. He's quite literally just a compromised man. He's compromised.
Actions.
Right, okay. So this is the key question. Why do they do this? I think there are three possibilities, okay? And I think all three possibilities are valid. The first is the idea of hubris. If you look at history, this is how empires behave. So the Mindoro kidnapping was quick, successful, and it was adrenaline rush.
Yes, and Trump also said he's using Venezuela as a template for Iran because he is hubris, right? He's so cocky, he thinks that he can do what he did in Venezuela to a nation like Iran, which is fucking psychopathic.
Trump. and that made him overconfident in the capacity of the American military. Okay, so hubris is a factor, and we see this throughout history. Why did Hitler invade Stalin? Because he conquered Europe really easily, and he thought he was invincible.
True.
Right, and that led to the destruction of the German army in the Soviet Union. So hubris is a factor. Then you have to look at internal political calculus, where even though America does not benefit from this war against Iran, Trump himself personally benefits.
Yep.
Why? Because the Saudis and the Israelis are bribing him to attack Iran. Remember that the Saudis invested $2 billion in the private equity fund of Jared Kushner, who is the son-in-law of Donald Trump. And the Israelis, through Miriam Adelson, have been financing Trump's political career, right? So Miriam Adelson, a few months back, said that she will put up $250 million if Trump were to run a third term. So Trump is getting
By the way,
financial and political.
Zhang believes that not only will Trump run for a third term, but he'll get his third term. It's what I've been saying for a very long time. And it's not because like Americans will vote him in. There just won't be an election. We might walk through the motions of an election, but votes will not be counted properly. He will just claim victory, right? That is reality. You need to understand that democracy does not exist in this nation anymore. There's not going to be midterm elections, let alone a fucking presidential.
Support from the Saudis and Israelis. Also remember that if this war goes sideways and Trump is forced to use ground troops, he will probably get approval from Congress.
Yes,
and
he will.
This will give him emergency.
We already know this. The Senate already voted no on the War Powers Resolution Act. So Democrats and Republicans alike vehemently support this war. And it's because they're all infiltrated by the Zionists, right? They're all paid by AIPAC. AIPAC doesn't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. They care if you support Israel with undying loyalty, right? And that's what we are seeing.
War powers, which will allow him to influence the midterms. So Trump is thinking about a third term.
Do you really think he'll get rid of the midterms this year? No, we're going to walk through the motions of midterms, right? And then he's going to have ICE confiscate the ballot boxes and the voting machines. And they're going to stop the vote as soon as Trump is winning, or not Trump, but like Republicans are winning in these different areas. They're also going to disenfranchise as many voters as possible, leftists, black people, trans people, brown people. They will do anything and everything they can to prevent anyone who's not going to vote for Republicans from voting. That is the play. And you don't need to take it from me. I mean, Steve Bannon himself said, yes, we are going to have ICE surround the polls.
And I think at the ballot box, he probably won't get it. But if there's a war going on and you can delay elections and you have emergency war powers and people rally around the flag, then he probably will get a third term. And the last factor that is very important is the eschatological factor, where if you look at the Epstein files, it's clear that we are run by secret societies. It's clear that the world is run by these individuals who have a lot of power. We don't know who they are, but they control the military. They control the national security apparatus. And these people, there are different names for these people. You can call them the Illuminati.
The Illuminati. I just got chills. Like, I literally have goosebumps, bro. The Illuminati is what he just said. Play that again.
They control the military. They control the national security apparatus. And these people, there are different names for these people. You can call them the Illuminati. And the Illuminati are composed of three major groups, okay? You have the Jesuits, who control the Vatican. You have the Sephardim Frankists, which control the modern state of Israel today. And you have the Freemasons, which control the national security apparatus of the United States. And they believe that Israel, this war in the Middle East, is key to the end times in creating heaven on earth.
How many fucking times have I told you that they're trying to bring about the return of Jesus Christ? That these evangelical Christians actually believe in like the rapture and Armageddon and the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. This is guys, I'm not kidding. I think they're going to end the world. Like I actually think this might be the last war. Oh my God.
So it's almost like a script that they're following, even though it doesn't make any geopolitical sense. Okay, so I would say that these three are the best reasons why this is happening.
Wow. Well, sir, I hope you come back. This was very informative, I think, for both of us. We deeply appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, guys, there's no GTA 6. All right, I did want to get one clip from this ready for the video.
$1 billion political support, and this will give him a box. He probably won't get it. It's very important. It's who have a lot of power societies. It's eschatological factor. Then he probably will get a third term. And the last factor, then he probably will get a third term.
Okay. Keep that clip. Let me see the thumbie you made. I dig that one. I dig that one a lot. I'm going to save that, get that ready for later. Episode 398. So listen, I hope you found that as informative as I did. I think that was one of the most informative fucking... I want to get this queued up here. That was one of the most informative videos that I've seen in a long time. Okay. All right, how loud is this? All right, it's not that loud. All right. I think we're good to make today's video. Nick Fuentes said he's voting blue. Yeah, well, broken clock is right twice a day. Chris, why does your stream always freeze? I don't fucking know. It doesn't freeze on my end. Maybe it has to do with your Wi-Fi. Hear about Brian McGinnis? Yeah, I got that shit queued up. We're gonna start recording. We're gonna dive into the links for today. We got a lot, and then we got the docu-tussie for later. This might be good for the video. Let me see. What is it? Oh, I already brought this up in yesterday's video. That U.S. troops were told by their commanders that Trump was anointed by Jesus Christ to bring about Armageddon. Yeah. Freezes for you guys too? Freezes for some of y'all? Maybe it has something to do with your guys' Wi-Fi. I don't fucking know. Doesn't freeze on my end. Doesn't freeze on my end. All right. All right. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Here we go. Hey, we're gonna lose the war in Iran. Like 100% we're gonna fucking lose. We're already losing. Granted, I'm gonna show you videos of Tehran and it quite literally looks like fucking Armageddon. It looks like a scene out of The Walking Dead when they were bombing Atlanta because the United States government and the United States military, along with Israel, have decided to carpet bomb Iran, slaughtering thousands of fucking civilians. It's absolutely horrifying. But on top of that, we're going to talk about the cost difference. You know, I mean, it costs us about $12.7 million to create a THAAD missile, and we're firing those at Iranian Shahed drones, which cost like $35,000 to make. We've already, just so you know, what is it, day 5 of the war? We've already spent at least $5.6 billion in this war. That's what we've done so far, at least. And we're going to put boots on the ground alongside CIA-backed Kurdish forces. My guess is going to be about 50,000 troops because this fucking Trump regime is absolutely brain dead. I believe we sent 250,000 troops to fight against Iraq, which is a nation like 8 times smaller than Iran. And we're going to send a quarter of that many troops to fight a nation 8 times the size of Iraq. So there's going to be literally thousands of dead Americans. Granted, that's what Trump wants. If you're a GI, if you're in the military, you need to understand Trump wants you to die. It's not that he doesn't care if you don't die. That's a given. It doesn't matter who the president is. They don't care if you fucking die. You're a weapon. You're not a person. You're replaceable. That's not according to me. That's according to, you know, the contract you fucking signed where you gave up your rights. But no, Trump wants you to die because Trump is much like the Ayatollah. He's much like an Islamic extremist. He believes in martyrdom. He believes in jihad, white jihad. And, you know, the more of you that die, the easier it'll be for him to convince toothless fucking hicks that we should be fighting against the Iranians till the last man. It's a death cult. But without further ado, hi, how are you? I'm Chris Valenti. Welcome to the Valenti VOD. This is real independent media. I have no sponsors. I don't do advertisements. I've never had a conversation with a billionaire, a government, or a PAC. So you can trust everything that I tell you is my genuine opinion. If you do want to support this channel financially, because I'm a dissident of the Fuhrer, so even my notification bell doesn't fucking work. So if you do want to help support me financially, you could buy merch like the Duty Calls poster, the Democratic Socialist poster. We also have hoodies, mugs, stickers. It's all available down below. You can click the join button down below to become a member. That'll give you early access to member-only content, or it'll give you access to member-only content, and it'll give you access to some cool emotes. You can click the thanks button down below to donate to me directly, and you can become a patron on Patreon. I'm seeing everybody saying this name Carson in the chat. Did somebody named Carson say something stupid? I kind of want to scroll up and find it. I'm too fucking lazy. It's probably some fucking brain dead red hat wearing magaloid. Who gives a shit? All right, so we gotta talk. First thing I want to show you is a couple of videos from Tehran, so you can see these are strikes by B-2 bombers, and as you'll see, just so you know, here's a little trigger warning. There are hundreds of people dying in all of these blasts, mostly civilians. We are murdering them in mass. Okay, it's collective punishment for a crime that they never even committed in the first place. By the way, this guy's gonna laugh in this video. I can't explain that other than a trauma response. You know, like I've done that before. You ever like gone through something so fucking crazy that you had to laugh at it? I mean, that's what we do here. That's what we do for a living here, is we waltz through the flames, we laugh so we don't cry. But you're gonna see this guy, this Iranian, kind of laughing a little bit. Probably because he cannot believe what he's watching. By the way, these are not military targets. These are civilian structures. We bombed 13 fucking hospitals. Somebody in chat just said, how did your wish for Iran's leader turn out? You mean the one where I said, I hope Iran wins? They're winning. They're currently winning. What you're seeing is them winning. What you're seeing is us committing such atrocities that we are unironically uniting the entire Shia population of the Arab world, bro. Listen, I understand you're too fucking stupid to know that there's two types of Muslims, but there's Shia and Sunni Muslims, right? Now, Iran is Shia controlled. The Shia Muslims really believe in martyrdom and jihad. This is the first Ayatollah that has ever been assassinated. And not only was he assassinated, he was assassinated by the great Satan, by America and Israel. And the motherfucker knew he was gonna die and chose to stay because he had pancreatic cancer and said, I'm gonna die a martyr. Fuck this. And we have unironically legitimized Islamic extremism. That's what we just fucking did. You have no idea what is coming. An entire generation of young Iranians who did not understand why their parents hated the United States of America so much, they fucking get it now. The first thing we did was murder 185 little girls, bro. The first thing we did. Then we destroyed 13 hospitals. Then we killed their Ayatollah, his kids, his grandkids, and the entirety of what their version of Congress is. If you actually think we're gonna win this war, you're mentally fucking retarded. And we're gonna cover that. We're gonna cover the price of this war and how even if this is why I said in my recent video, we're gonna nuke them. We cannot afford to keep this going. We have two options. We lose or we nuke them. Now, nuking them doesn't mean we win. Nuking them means everybody loses. Let's keep watching. It's literally apocalyptic. Got more for you.
What?
I did that because I'm a piece of shit. Look at that, dude.
از اینجا میاد اینجا.
I also did that because I'm a piece of shit. Oh, God. All civilians being murdered. So you just got footage of Iran being bombed, right? Now, Israel is also being bombed. Tel Aviv, Haifa, Jerusalem, they're getting pelted by Iranian hypersonic missiles. Now, I want to show you footage of that so that we can celebrate, but I can't. And CNN admits that. Just listen.
Go up there. We're not showing you that because we're not going to show, the Israeli government does not allow us or want us to show where that may have come up, that interceptor. But I've not.
So she's like, I want to show you footage of this Israeli interceptor. Remember the footage I showed you of the interceptors missing the hypersonic missile? On CNN, they're admitting we're not allowed to show you because we are controlled by the Israelis. Listen again.
Go up there. We're not showing you that because we're not going to show, the Israeli government does not allow us or want us to show where that may have come up, that interceptor.
Does not allow us. That's what she just said. All right. A couple of live updates. The U.S. and Iran vow to step up strikes and Luigi! As Gulf states now run low on interceptors. So not only are we vowing to escalate, the Iranians are also vowing to escalate. Thank you for that gifted membership. What to know on the 6th day of U.S. and Israel's war with Iran. Israel and Iran. All right, by the way, Kyle Kalinske coined this. We're taking it now. We are only referring to this, like our side, the Americans and the Israelis, as the axis of Epstein. Okay, that's it. So, the axis of Epstein launched new strikes as the war in the Middle East entered its 6th day, with Iran matching U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth's escalatory rhetoric and threatening, quote, more intense and widespread attacks to cripple the region's economy. See what I'm saying? See what I told you earlier? You want to make America bleed, you target our profit, you target our money. The war continues to spread, with new Israeli strikes in Lebanon and Tehran, and Iranian drones hitting neighboring Azerbaijan for the first time. So more and more, remember I told you, this is a world war. More and more players are entering the fucking stage, bro. And just so you understand, European nations have to join because they don't get any more oil from Russia. They are completely reliant on the Strait of Hormuz. So if the Iranians keep the Strait of Hormuz closed, Europe is going to collapse. European economies are going to collapse. I mean, we should collapse, but like I told you, the reason why we invaded Venezuela is because we have been planning this attack for months. And they had to have known that the Iranians will shut down the Strait of Hormuz. So we invaded Venezuela, turned them into a vassal state, and we seized all of their oil. We're now invading Ecuador because they have oil refineries, and we're invading Cuba. We are trying to control the entirety of the global south because we know the 20% of the oil on planet Earth that flows through the Strait of Hormuz is about to be rendered completely fucking obsolete. Anyway. U.S. government sharp criticism over pre-war planning has begun assisting thousands of Americans trying to evacuate from the Middle East, with the State Department saying it's working on a series of options to get people home. And no, we are not. Look at this. Iran's top diplomat calls Azerbaijani counterpart and blames the drone strike on Israel. I would believe that. This is the first time hearing about that, but I would believe Israel is the type of nation to bomb their friends and then blame it on others. Don't forget, Israel bombed themselves on October 7th, the Hannibal Directive. That's not theory, that's not conspiracy, that's confirmed from the Israeli government themselves. The Israelis believe that their people are better off dead than taken hostage. So when they found out that Hamas was taking hostages, Israel started bombing their own fucking people. The majority of the people killed on October 7th were killed by Israel. Anyway, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi calls his counterpart in neighboring Azerbaijan on Thursday and expressed regret for drone strikes that injured 2 people earlier that day. But he denied the drones were part of Iran's widespread retaliatory attacks and blamed them on Israel. I believe that. 100% I'll fucking believe that. So now, by the way, Trump is calling on the Kurds to aid U.S. effort in Iran, offers support. The Trump regime, bracing for more U.S. casualties, bracing for more U.S. casualties and considering whether to put troops on the ground in Iran, has begun reaching out to Tehran's domestic opposition as potential allies to foment an uprising against the regime. In calls this week to Kurdish minority leaders in Iran and neighboring Iraq, if you don't know, the Kurdish people are kind of like a nomadic people that live throughout the entirety of the Middle East, right? We have used and abused the Kurds time and time again. I don't understand why they keep fucking falling for it, because we just leave them out to dry, but it looks like we are going to be gathering more fucking Kurds to fight against Iran. The American request, you know what, it's funny? It's funny, we use the Kurds the way that Israel uses us. Right? Israel does not want to send their own people to fight in a fair war. They're okay with sending their people to commit a genocide because it's fucking easy. There's practically no resistance. But when it comes to people who actually fight back, no, Israel sends America because we are Israel's little baby back bitch. Quote, the American request to the Iraqi Kurds is to open the way and not obstruct Iranian Kurdish groups mobilizing in Iraq, while also providing logistical support, said a senior official to the Patriotic Union of Kurdistan, one of two major political parties that govern Iraq's semi-autonomous Kurdish region. Trump was clear in his call. He told us the Kurds must choose a side in this battle, either with America and is either with the axis of Epstein or with Iran. All right, so essentially Trump is giving them an ultimatum. You're either with us or against us. So what Trump is saying is that if the Kurds do not invade Iran, we are going to start bombing Iraq. Listen to that. If the Kurds don't invade Iran because of us, we're going to go to war with Iraq. Hey, GI in his like 30s and 40s. Looks like we're going back to the sandbox. You down for another fucking tour? You could thank the pedophile president for that one. All right, we got more here. So we talked about this earlier. The Senate rejects the bid to restrain Trump's war in Iran. This is because Democrats and Republicans alike are Zionists. They are all bought and paid for by Israel. U.S.-Israeli strikes continue across Iran, and Iranian drones hit Azerbaijan. Granted, we just read that the Iranians claim that it was not them. This is one of the craziest fucking things I've ever listened to. I want you to see the way that Donald talks about this war. Donald actually is acting like me when I play Age of Empires, okay? I can't even explain it to you. You just have to listen.
Exciting times. I think you probably want to speak about...
Wait. Let me refresh it.
Exciting times.
These are exciting times.
I think you probably want to speak about war rather than this, but this is very important. This is very important, and we're doing very well on the war front.
Dude, just the way he says that, we're doing very well on the war front. He's so excited to be a wartime president.
Put it mildly, I would say. Somebody said, on a scale of 10, where would you rate it? I said about a 15.
On a scale of 10, where would you rate the war in Iran? About a 15. Hey, by the way, there's at least 6 dead Americans. Hey, by the way, you murdered thousands of Iranians, including 185 little girls while they were in school. Like, hey, by the way, you're starting World War III. Hey, by the way, every GI in the Middle East is about to go fight and die for Israel. Listen to this again. Listen to this again.
They're exciting times. I think you probably want to speak about war rather than this, but this is very important. This is very important, and we're doing very well on the war front, to put it mildly, I would say. Somebody said, on a scale of 10, where would you rate it? I said about a 15.
Bro, he's literally like I think, like, this is a game to him, and you have to understand it is literally a game. I don't know if you saw what the White House posted. I wonder if I'm even going to be able to pull this up. I'm going to try. I don't know if I'll get copyright strike because of the music they played, but the White House, maybe you've seen this posted. I think the craziest thing the White House has ever posted. Not even kidding. The craziest thing they have ever posted. Let me see if I can find this without getting copyright striked. Where is it? Here it is. That's like Call of Duty. I'm gonna mute it now, because now you hear the music, you know what song is playing. Look at the plus 100s. See, this is a game to them. It is a game. By the way, you're watching hundreds of people die. This is a game to them because they will never have to send their sons and daughters to die. They will never have to pay the consequences for this. Let me play the music again for a second. Dude, like, I'm probably gonna get copyright strike because of that, but like, you gotta understand how fucking demented this shit is. I got that video coming, Wombology. I have that video coming. But yeah, no, they're literally playing snuff films and they're adding the Call of Duty music and the plus 100 score. This is the official White House. The official White House account. Demented. Absolutely demented. Okay. So now we're going to talk about this. If you want to see an image that will last forever, I want you to watch a sitting United States member of the Senate, I believe he's a senator, literally snap a United States Marine veteran's arm in half because he had the audacity to say that he does not want to die for Israel. That's what you're about to watch. Trigger warning, you're going to hear and see this man's arm get snapped in half.
Ow! No one wants to fight for Israel!
His hand.
Oh, fuck, dude. Oh! Jesus Christ! That is so fucked. That made my asshole tighten. Oh my God!
Oh, his hand.
By the way, that's a senator. That's a senator who broke his fucking arm.
Sir. Let go of your hand. Let go of the door. Let go of the door. The senator broke his hand.
This is a man who fought and bled in the Middle East. This is a man who watched his friends fucking die in the Middle East at the behest of George W. Bush, which was, again, a war for Israel. Because the United States of America is a vassal state for a nation the size of fucking New Jersey.
The senator just broke the hand of a Marine. Sir. Control your Senate.
Can we point out the fact that he didn't even bat an eye at his arm breaking? This man has balls made of fucking tungsten. We're gonna watch him break his arm one more time, not because I want to see his arm break, but because I want you to watch him.
Wants to fight for Israel!
His hand. Oh.
He didn't even fucking react. That man is a fucking savage.
Sir. Control your Senate. Arm stuck in the door. Okay, sir. A U.S. senator just broke the hand of a Marine. Hand stuck. A U.S. senator just broke the hand of a Marine. You're a coward. Punk. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Why do you say that? Senator? Go fuck yourself. You were a shit seal. That's why you got kicked out.
This fucking senator should be arrested. He should be arrested and thrown in fucking prison. He should also be charged with treason.
Fat ass.
Everybody sit down, please. Sit down, please. Everybody sit down, please. Everybody sit down, please.
I'm getting out of here.
That's fine. Everybody sit down, please. Is your hand okay? Okay.
No, it's not.
This is disgusting. Disgusting.
I think his name is Brian McGinnis. Brian, maybe it's Brian McGinnis. I do know his name is Brian, but all right, now I want to talk to you about the price difference, okay? So do you remember the video I showed you the other day of the hypersonic missile piercing through the Iron Dome? You guys remember that? Well, I say we, but it's Israel, but we are Israel. So we fired 11 THAAD missiles, interceptors, at that hypersonic missile, okay? We fire that same missile, the THAAD missile, at drones, Iranian Shahed drones, right? Which is what the Iranians are primarily using. One THAAD missile costs $12.7 million to create, one of them. And one Shahed drone costs $20,000 to create. Okay? So we're spending 12, let's call it 13. We're spending $13 million per interceptor, and they're spending $20,000. Now, what we watched the other day was 11 interceptors being fired at one singular hypersonic missile. All 11 missed, okay? So the price of that whiff, that air ball, was $139 million. That's your money. By the way, that amount of money could like create 1,000 fucking schools. Okay? $139 million fucking dollars. That's how much it cost for us to miss. Okay? And that number will only go up. Okay, just so you understand, we have already spent over $5.5 billion in this war. All right, now I want to talk to you about the GCC. These are, it's the Gulf Cooperation Council. It consists of Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, right? And Dr. Zhang, who is like a Chinese predictive theorist, right? He uses game theory to predict the future. He accurately predicted that Trump would win. He accurately predicted that Trump would go to war with Iran. He also predicts that Trump will lose the war in Iran and he will get a third term. Okay, well, Zhang, we're going to cover this at the end. He went on Breaking Points with Crystal Ball and Sagar. And he explained how we're going to lose this war. But one of the most important things that I learned from him is that the GCC nations are propping up the U.S. economy, right? They are literally propping up these AI tech bubbles, right? And they get most of their money through fucking tourism, right? Like Dubai, right? And on top of that, they get 80% of their food through the Strait of Hormuz. And 60% of their water goes through salination plants in these GCC countries, right? We actually literally cannot defend these nations. It is just an open fucking desert. There is literally nothing that we can do to protect these nations. One singular Iranian Shahed drone could take out water desalination plants or like any sort of fucking ship that is going through the Strait of Hormuz with food. So these 6 nations are about to collapse. They're about to fucking collapse, right? That will trigger the collapse of the US economy. It'll pop the AI bubble and then everything will come collapsing down around it. Here's the amount of money we've spent so far. This is from yesterday, so it's already gone up. $5.431 billion. All right, I want you to listen to Trump say that he doesn't care that the price of living is going to go up.
I'll tell you what, I have never had more compliments on something I did. People felt it's something that had to be done. So if we have a little high oil prices for a little while, but as soon as this ends, those prices are going to drop, I believe, lower than even before.
So he is wrong about that, but also look how fucking disgusting he looks. He's actually decaying in real time. This is a dying man. He's dying. Okay. And I do think that that is a big reason why he's doing this. Trump is the type of man to like bring everything down around him, you know, like I'm kind of goated if you ask me, but he's also, I'm alive. I have to deal with the consequences. He knows he's going to die. He doesn't have to deal with the consequences. So fuck it. Let's just destroy everything on my way out. All he cares about is, you know, gathering and accruing wealth for his legacy. That's all he fucking cares about. But yeah, no, he doesn't give a shit if the price of everything is going to go up. Here's Lindsey Graham, the man who has never met a war that he didn't like, the #1 warmonger in the United States government. This is him publicly saying that this is a religious war. We are in a crusade.
This is a religious war. Who wins it at the end of the day? Do the radical Islamic terrorists who want to kill all the Jews because God told them to? Who want to kill me because I'm an infidel? Who want to purify Islam, to reject moderation and make everybody a jihadist? This is a big deal. I'll deal with Section 230. So what we're facing right now is a moment of decision that will set the course of the future of the Mideast for 1,000 years.
So to every U.S. service member, I hope you understand that you are literally fighting in a holy war that has been commanded by our pedophile president. All right. Now, here's Trump admitting that we are literally only doing this for Israel.
Years they've been killing our people and killing people from all over the world, and I think we have great support. And I think if we didn't do it first, they would have done it to Israel and give us a shot if that was possible.
So again, GI, service member watching this, do not fool yourself into thinking that you are protecting the American people. You do not serve us. You serve Benjamin Netanyahu. I will no longer be referring to American service members fighting in Iran as American service members. You are in the American branch of the Israeli military. That's what you are. Like, I'm not kidding, dude. In the future, if I ever come across any service member who served in Iran, I'm going to tell them, you fought for Israel. You served in the Israeli military. You're a traitor. You should be charged with fucking treason. Fucking disgusting. All right. I want to show you just one clip of how Republicans are fucking coping with this. We have Glenn Beck here, a failed Fox News host, just an absolute psychopath, talking to an AI-generated George Washington, trying to get George Washington to approve of the fucking war in Iran. And by the way, I want to point out the fact that this AI George Washington looks and sounds a lot like Glenn Beck. It's the most narcissistic, stupid shit I've ever seen. It's dystopian. It's fucking gross.
George, we are trying to not fight foreign wars and not be involved in the world's policemen, but there are times that we have to demonstrate.
That is an AI-generated George Washington. I'm going to say this again. That is an AI-generated George Washington. Do you understand the levels of cope that the Republican Party is going through? It's actually fucking insane. Like, this isn't... We use the word insane a lot. It's kind of lost its meaning. This is, like, definitionally insane. Like, actually insane. You should be locked in a padded room, dude.
Great strength in order to prevent conflict. But I don't know where the foreign entanglement begins and where it ends.
When I was president, I did not crave power. I didn't strut in my uniform, dreaming of conquest. In fact, I begged several times to not be the general and not be the president. I didn't want it, but I understood my responsibility. And I also understood that some things that are easy to forget when you're staring down bayonets. Peace is not the default.
Bro, look at how he's sitting there, acting like he's actually having a conversation. Dude, Republicans are not okay.
Peace is not the default. It has to be guarded deliberately with foresight and strength.
We're not watching this whole fucking thing, but like, guys, like our nation is actually controlled by literal psychopaths. Like religious psychosis, like mentally ill pedophiles control the fucking world. And you don't need to take it from me. This is Professor Zhang, who I was telling you about. If you really, everybody, please go watch this video on Breaking Points. It was posted 3 days ago. It's already got 5.3 million fucking views. This is one of the best interviews I have ever fucking seen. Shout out to Breaking Points. It's about a 15-minute long interview. We're not going to watch the entire thing, but we are going to watch the very last point here.
And the last factor that is very important is the eschatological factor, where if you look at the Epstein files, it's clear that we are run by secret societies. It's clear that the world is run by these individuals who have a lot of power. We don't know who they are, but they control the military. They control the national security apparatus. And these people, there are different names for these people. You can call them the Illuminati.
The Illuminati. I'm 28, bro. Like, what were the odds that I had to be born when the Illuminati is ending the world? What the fuck?
And the Illuminati are composed of 3 major groups, okay? You have the Jesuits, who control the Vatican. You have the Sephardim Frankists, which control the modern state of Israel today. And you have the Freemasons, which control the national security apparatus.
Friendly reminder that the majority of the founding fathers were Freemasons.
Of the United States. And they believe that Israel, this war in the Middle East, is key to the end times in creating heaven on earth. So it's almost like a script that they're following, even though it doesn't make any geopolitical sense, okay?
Well, guys, don't forget, I wasn't lying when I told you, like, evangelical Christians, like Lindsey Graham, all these fucking people, they actually believe that we have to let Israel take over the entirety of the Middle East in order for Jesus Christ to return and for Armageddon to begin, like a 7-year-long war with Jesus Christ leading all the non-believers against the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse and demons from hell. That's not like hyperbole. That's actually what the United States government believes.
So I would say that these 3 are the best reasons why this is happening.
Wow. Well, sir,
an incredible interview. I highly recommend you all fucking watch that. All right, listen, if you're here live, you stay. We're going to keep on going. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Costs you nothing, helps me immensely. And remember to keep hope alive. They can't take away the birds. They can't take away the cicadas. They can't take away the sun rising over that little fucking mountain near you. You got to go out and you got to enjoy this planet for as long as we got it. All right? You be good. I love you. Do me one last favor. Click that video right over there. It's a banger. And I know bangers. I think that was a real fucking banger. I think that was a real fucking banger. You dig? You dig? You dig? Fuck, I missed the whole thing. It's okay, buddy. It's about to be uploaded. We're gonna upload it right now. Hey, Luigi. We're gonna upload that right now. I've got the thumbnail that Siren made. Great thumbnail. Here we go. A/B testing. We're gonna do 3 different titles. We will lose this war. The United States will lose the war against Iran. Trump is going to lose this war. We will spend 100x the amount that Iran spends, and we will have nothing to show for it. All for Israel. Valentivad, it is not made for kids. There is no AI generated content in this. Yes, I want advertisements. Include sensitive events dealing with the loss of life and tragedy in a non-exploitative or dismissive manner. Add an end screen. There we go. Oh, what's this? Wait, what the fuck is this? I don't want this here. I'm confused. Hold on, hold on. Discard. End screen. One video, one playlist, one subscribe. Playlist. Valentivad. Video. Most recent upload. There we go. Hey, we're gonna lose the war in Iran. Like 100%. Confirm. All right. Let's make a quick little advertisement for that video. Let's say the Messiah doesn't come back. What will all the religious people do? They're gonna fake it. They're gonna fake it. It's gonna be Charlie Kirk. All right. Hey, so we're gonna lose the war in Iran. It's just like it's just gonna happen. We're gonna fucking lose. We're also like spending so much fucking money, dude. It costs $12.7 million to create a single THAAD interceptor missile, right? We're firing those interceptors at drones, Shahed drones that cost $35,000 to create. And sometimes we fire multiple fucking missiles because we miss, bro. Each one at, what is it, between 12 and $13 million? Dude, there was a point where we fired, I think, 11 interceptors at a single Iranian hypersonic missile. We missed all of them. That's like $170 million fucking dollars, bro. Missed all of them. Just pierced through. It's fucking insane. On top of that, the GCC nations are like entirely reliant on the Strait of Hormuz. They get like 80% of their water from the, not water, 80% of their food from the Strait of Hormuz. So they're all gonna fucking starve. Dubai's gonna go bankrupt, and plus, like, Dubai's entirely reliant on tourism. And you know damn well, as soon as that fucking drone hit the Burj Khalifa, every white person in town got the fuck out of there. And also, the GCC nations actually prop up the entire AI bubble that is holding up the US economy. So, I mean, all the Iranians have to do is strike a single water desalination plant, and it's over. It's GG. Like, bro, we're gonna lose. We're actually gonna lose this fucking war. By the way, Trump just straight up was like, oh, the war in Iran, it's going great on the war front. I'd call it a 15 out of 10. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck about American lives. Here's the thing. That's every president, the government. They don't give a fuck about American soldiers dying. You guys are replaceable. You're weapons, not people. You signed that fucking contract and gave up your rights. But Trump is kind of unique in the sense that he doesn't just not care if you die. He wants you to die. Trump and these fucking Christian theocratic fascists like Lindsey Graham, who quite literally said this is a holy war, right? They are much more like Islamic extremists than they're willing to admit. Trump is a lot like the Ayatollah, right? He believes in martyrdom. He believes in jihad, just white jihad, right? And the more American soldiers that die, the easier it's going to be to convince those toothless fucking hicks who wear that red hat to support the war, because you're all dumb as fuck. But yeah, I have a whole new YouTube video on this. More importantly, you should check out Dr. Jiang, Jiang. You should check out his interview, Predictive History. He did an interview. Hi, Luigi. He did an interview with Breaking Points, Crystal Ball and Sagar. I forgot his last name. Maybe that's his last name. I don't fucking know. But go check it out. I got a whole new YouTube video on this. To every GI, have fun fucking fighting and dying for Israel, bro. We'll make sure your wife's bed is warm while you're gone. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Drawn by a fan? Let me see. No one wants to fight for Israel. Dude, that is a great shot. You should post that online, man. You should post that on Twitter or something. Tag Kyle Kalinske. Tag Secular Talk. Hey, the one silver lining about all this is that military wives are back on the market, boys. Call me Jody. Like, dude, that's the only silver lining is cheating military wives while their husbands are on deployment are back on the fucking menu. Jody strikes again, my brother. Jody strikes again, my brother. Do you think a revolution is more likely if we lose a war? Yeah. 100%. New episode of the Valenti VOD. Related video, that one, and upload. Jody is what they call the men who fuck the wives of our soldiers while they're overseas. It's like a pseudonym for whoever that man is. It's not called women meat, guys. We're not calling them meat. This is a thing that happens every time there's a fucking war, bro. People cheat. Men and women. Hey, there's plenty of gay people in the military, dude. There's also going to be husbands. There's going to be cheating husbands. Not you, Chris? Oh, okay, good. I mean, I did say back in the menu, which is kind of like something you would say about meat. So that is my bad. But we joke around here. We joke around here. You know what I meant. You know what I meant. Caption. New episode of the Valenti VOD on YouTube. There we go. All right, those videos are being uploaded. Let's get a look at the docutussi. Vietnam 2.0 drops over the ocean. Progressive candidates keep taking wins over establishment Democrats. Larry Ellison doing some really fucked shit. Epstein files are being combed through. What the fuck? You guys are never beating the allegations. is this? I fucking love Italians. I wish they were real. This whole thing's AI generated. Italy has never existed. Christopher Columbus wasn't even real. That was actually a Haitian woman. That makes me happy. That's good to see. Christy Noem's job is in jeopardy after this? Let's see.
Could you explain this?
Oh, that's the fucking bed. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this. She's married, and so is Corey Lewandowski. She's having an affair with Corey Lewandowski, and they use a private jet that is funded by your tax dollars that has a fuck room in it.
Sir, I'm looking at a picture of an interior. Looks like a bedroom.
Could you imagine if you were at a Senate hearing and the Senate held up the picture of the bed that you cheat on your husband with and goes, "What's this? What's this, huh?"
Of an airplane.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
You're not familiar with that?
These photos are not accurate. If you're referring to the airplanes that the Department of Homeland Security has purchased and are purchasing, we're using...
Is her husband right behind? Is that her husband right behind her? That's the funniest shit I've ever heard. That's her husband?
Them for long-range command and control aircraft that is dictated in statute by Congress for the Department of Homeland Security to have a plane.
Luxury jet with a bedroom in it?
Yeah, we used a 737. I've been on it once, but it is being used by other administration officials, and it is used for command and control flights for the department. The department has found that in purchasing our aircraft, that we will save...
By the way, you should not sympathize with her husband. He was willing to marry this hideous fucking cunt, so he deserves everything that comes at him.
Give the taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars.
Does it have a bedroom in
In fact, we spent $1.42 billion on ICE deportation flights last year.
Does it have a bedroom in it?
I believe it's being refurbished and not having a bedroom in it. So it is being refurbished.
What kind of deportee justifies being flown out of the country in a luxury jet with a bedroom and accommodations like this?
There are aircraft being purchased that will be utilized for executive air travel and for deportations.
Well,
if you remember in the past, we have used jets of this size and this configuration for deportations in the past. If you remember
In this configuration, by this configuration, you mean with
I
a
didn't see
bedroom
the
and
inside
luxury
of them.
accommodations like this
That
you've
plane-
used for deportations. Is that true?
Sir, we have 737s that are being purchased by the department to replace contracts that we have on ICE deportations. That's what they're going to be used for. And in fact, the Coast Guard is the only entity within the Department of Homeland Security that has jets at this point in time. They had two G5s that were 20 to 25 years old that are being replaced so that they can continue to serve our Coast Guard and our military for years to come.
About these aircraft. They've been reported as saying, although they don't want to say.
This guy's name is Mr. White House. I don't know a thing about him, but make him the president. Make him the fucking president. I don't know a thing about this guy, but his name is Mr. White House? Get the fuck out of here.
Publicly this, but individuals described as senior administration officials have described these airplane purchases as the world's worst deal and an abuse of federal funds. Can you tell me what the Republicans on this committee who voted for what I call the billionaires bill that gave you the money to buy these jets knew about your plans to acquire luxury jets when they voted for that money?
The dollars for these airplanes was appropriated by Congress. In fact, it's mandated from Congress and rules that you've given us that we need to have a long-range command and control aircraft that will seat up to 17 people in the Department of Homeland Security for national security purposes. We are complying with the law. Those planes are being refurbished and will be utilized for that,
see.
and they'll be
Two
utilized
quick questions
by
in my
members of
last
the
minute, if you
administration
don't
and
mind.
other components.
First,
They will also cut our costs, sir,
First, in my last
by
minute,
almost
if you don't-
40%.
Cunt, shut the fuck up. Ball gag 50 lashes.
We are saving the
you-
taxpayer 40%.
Cut her fucking mic. Cut this disgusting cunt's fucking mic.
By purchasing our own aircraft
May I
and
have a
operating
minute?
them rather than being susceptible to the contracts that they have today.
we have an extra 2 minutes to fill in the filibuster there.
What else do we got? Tallarico takes Tejas. James Tallarico defeats Jasmine Crockett to win the Democratic primary in the Texas Senate race. That's good, by the way. Jasmine Crockett is a wolf in sheep's clothing. She vehemently supports Israel. She is a Zionist. So this is good. State Representative James Tallarico has won the Democratic primary for U.S. Senate in Texas, placing a once little-known state legislator at the top of the party's ticket for the general election in November. The 36-year-old defeats U.S. Representative Jasmine Crockett, a fiery 44-year-old. She's 44? She looks stupid good for 44. A fiery 44-year-old Democrat from the Dallas area in a contentious primary that became increasingly personal. He will face either U.S. Senator John Cornyn or Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. This is proof that something is happening in Texas. Good. Good. Glad Tallarico won. We need more of that. Measles outbreak in an ICE facility. Jesus Christ. 10th death in ICE detention in 2026. The 10th that we know of, bro. The 10th that we know of. And Larry Ellison merging our HHS and Medicare data with Oracle. Really?
At the time I'm recording this video, Israel has just struck Iran and the United States is almost certainly right behind them. I need you to focus, okay? Because today, the same day that those missiles hit, Oracle has quietly announced that the US government has just authorized it to run generative AI on federal government data. Your data and my data. The contract is titled FedRAMP High with a DISA impact level of 5. That means that Oracle can now run artificial intelligence, meaning pattern recognition, automated analysis, and decision-making tools on the Department of Defense mission data, on classified intelligence systems, and on your Medicare record. And that announcement went up on Oracle's blog the same day that every newsroom in America was pointed at Tehran. Now, I don't want to tell you what to think about all of that, but I will tell you this. The last time we went to war with the Middle East, Larry Ellison used all of the chaos to lock down the UK's entire government data infrastructure because the British are still fighting these surveillance apparatuses and digital IDs that came out of it to this day. And he's doing it again. Except this time he's after us. Before you write this off as Israel's idea and is dragging the US into it, remember who funds Netanyahu's entire military. Larry Ellison does. Remember who controls Israel's entire war data infrastructure. Larry Ellison. And Larry Ellison is in the middle of closing a lot of deals right now, and Congress is about to be too busy with a war to stop any of this. So we have to stay focused. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not about to live in some Orwellian surveillance future without putting up a fight first. And while everybody's making the media monopoly case about this, which is a case I've made myself, I think the more consequential angle here is the data acquisition angle. And we need to get very real very quickly about what it means to have Oracle sitting beneath American media, American healthcare, American defense.
I do want to point out, notice how there's nothing over here and my profile picture is completely empty. Dude, I haven't posted on TikTok in over a month, and the other day my account was just deleted. They just deleted my account. Which happened also to like Tizzy Ent, 8 million followers. He's like a big leftist. It's only happening to leftists. But the entire app is owned by Larry Ellison. Granted, it's still using the Chinese algorithm, but yeah, no, they're just destroying any and all dissent of the regime. It's over.
Infrastructure all simultaneously. And what Larry Ellison has already shown you what he wants to do with that kind of position. And because I'm getting tired of just talking about a lot of problems without a lot of solutions, I've written a full report on this, a policy brief with over 45 citations that I'm going to be sending to Congress, and we're going to get more into that at the end. That's going to be linked on my Substack, The Dre Dossier. so that you guys can see and follow along if you'd like with what we're about to discuss. So Oracle is not a company that many people think about in their day-to-day lives. It doesn't make something that you as an individual can buy. Oracle is an enterprise cloud company, and it builds and operates the underlying systems that institutions run on. It's what this freaking war is running on. So that's anything from databases to cloud storage to software infrastructure. So if you've ever logged into a corporate HR system at some large organization and ever wondered who built this thing, which I don't know why any sane person would have that thought, but there's a reasonable chance that Oracle built it. That's the point I'm trying to make. Also, a little detail that matters is that Oracle's first customer was the CIA. And I go into all of that in depth in another video, which I recommend you checking out. But the TLDR is
Hey,
that the
by the
company...
way, Jeffrey Epstein was meeting with the Ellisons like before Oracle was even founded. That's all in the Epstein files. So just so you understand, like, it's not a joke when we say that the entire planet is run by a secret cabal of pedophile elites. Call it the Illuminati. That's what they are. That's not a joke, bro. Like, your elected officials do not have power.
Literally got its name from the CIA database project from 1977, just to give you an idea of where we're starting here. And what Larry Ellison has done when he's been in that position, when he has the chance with all of that power, is the reason that this new merger with Paramount Pictures and Warner Brothers Discovery should scare you. Because between 2014 and 2024, Oracle had quietly assembled one of the most powerful data collection operations in the entire world. And this was all done through a very clever series of acquisitions that most people have never heard of, and each one did something very specific. So first, he bought Blue Kai, and Blue Kai embedded invisible tracking pixels on websites, and one by one, a pixel with a transparent image that you could not see would appear on your screen when you entered certain websites. So when you loaded one of those pages and one of those pixels had popped up, your browser would ping Blue Kai's servers, and it would transmit your IP address, your device information, your browser type, all of that, and set it with a tracking cookie that you could not delete. And Blue Kai was on websites like Amazon, ESPN, Forbes, the New York Times, MSN, and it was estimated to be tracking over 1% of all web traffic in the world. Then Oracle bought Datalogix. Datalogix connected what Blue Kai was collecting about your online behavior with what you did offline. So your in-store purchases, your loyalty cards, any of your credit card transactions, all of that. So now Oracle was starting to build this chain where it knew not just what websites you visited, but it knew what you bought.
By the way, this is what they're talking about really is a global database keeping tabs on every single human being and collecting all of the information, the shit that you've posted online. They're going to collect the stuff that you purchase, right? So that they can predict your future actions, right? And they're doing that so that they can round up and lock up anybody who they will deem a dissident, right? So there's a movie about this called Minority Report. It's an older movie. I think it's from the 90s. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, the 90s is so long ago. But it's a movie where it's quite literally about like a AI that will look at the things that you have said and done and then be able to predict what crimes you will commit and preemptively lock you up for a crime that you have not committed and probably wouldn't commit. And then that technology is abused by the powers that be to just lock up dissidents of the regime. That is, I'm not kidding, guys. That's the world you live in. That's the world you fucking live in.
Afterward, where you went afterward, who you saw afterward. And then Oracle acquired the company AddThis. You've probably seen AddThis without even knowing it. It's those little share this on Facebook, tweet this buttons that are basically on every website everywhere. And AddThis was on over 15 million websites, reaching 1.9 billion unique users a month. And even if you never clicked on a single button, you never tweeted anything, you never shared this to Facebook, AddThis was still collecting your data just from you loading the page. And we know this because in 2014, ProPublica exposed AddThis for using something called canvas fingerprinting. So basically, whenever you pulled up one of those websites that had one of those little buttons, your browser would be instructed to draw a hidden image completely invisible to you. And because every computer would render that image slightly differently just based off of your hardware, your graphics card, and even your fonts, it created a unique fingerprint for your specific device. And ProPublica even said that it was virtually impossible to block. And it was found on everything from the White House website to adult pleasuring websites in the same sweep. And what Oracle did was merge all three into the Oracle Data Cloud. And that combined system built what the industry calls an identity graph, which is a profile that connects a real person to their behavior across every device, every website, every purchase. And the federal lawsuit that eventually brought all of this to light called them the Oracle Digital Dossiers. And Larry Ellison even stood up at Oracle's own investors conference in 2016 and told the entire room that Oracle's data business had information on over 5 billion consumers worldwide. For a little context, there's 8 billion people on the planet. and he was tracking 5 billion of them. Now, Oracle later disputed the characterization, but the $115 million settlement suggests that the underlying operation was real enough for a federal court to take seriously. Consider this my digital dossier on him. Yeah, that's right, 2 can play at that game. At the time I'm
Well, that was a very informative fucking video. Oof, all right. I'm gonna hit you with a Bella Ciao, and then I'm gonna go to the gym. A little song to cheer us up. Una mattina mi sono alzato, un bello ciao, bello ciao, bello ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invasor. Oh partigiano, portami via. Un bello ciao, bello ciao, bello ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via. Che mi sento di morir. What do you mean the UK has joined the fight? They already said they would. Where are you getting that from? Hold on. Where are you getting that from? Okay, you're right. Okay, you're right. Starmer to send UK fighter jets to Qatar but rejects pressure to join Iran-US war latest. Well, why would you send them?
Immediately put those jets into the sky on a mission to protect. When the strikes began on Saturday, we immediately put those jets into the sky on a mission to protect our people and our allies in the region. And that is what they have done, flying over Cyprus and the wider region, shooting down multiple drones, at least one of which was heading towards a base housing British military personnel. Our jets were in the sky again last night, over Jordan, Qatar.
Okay, so yeah, no, this is a world war. I mean, I fucking told you heard it here first, that this is World War III. You just watched the beginning of World War III come in. Thank you for the $5. Thank you for the $5. Appreciate you guys.
Refueling in the air to prolong their mission. And we're constantly resupplying our jets and our missile stores. And we are responding to requests from allies in the region for further help. I can announce today that we're sending 4 additional Typhoon jets to join our squadron in Qatar, to strengthen our defensive operations in Qatar and across the region. Wildcat helicopters with anti-drone capabilities are arriving in...
Worst propagandist in history? Well, first of all, the word is propagandist, but who are you talking about? Him? You talking about him?
Cyprus tomorrow. The Defence Secretary is on the ground in Cyprus right now, coordinating our work and meeting our brave servicemen and women. We're deploying HMS Dragon to the Mediterranean. And we have allowed the US to use British bases to conduct defensive operations, to take out Iranian missiles before they're fired at our people and our allies.
So the Brits just joined the axis of Epstein. That's fucking crazy. I
We
gotta
will
tell my group chat.
maintain this shield over British people in the region and our allies. We are working to strengthen it every day. And we're working as fast as possible to get our people out.
Just after 6 p.m. last night, the Division of Police received a call to respond to the area of East 162nd and Midland. The caller stated they had found...
Stormer. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. The Canadians are going to join too. Oh, lordy, 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 lordy. I gotta send that in my group chat too. Won't rule out military participation. This is a world war. Cope harder. You cucks saying I'm wrong. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. People still think Iran stands a chance? Iran's literally gonna win. Are you a fucking moron? Do you understand what's gonna happen here? This is a new forever war. We just activated literally millions of Shia jihadists. That's what we just did. That's what we just did. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. Drone strike on the UK base wasn't from Iran. Yeah, well, I'm sure Iran is saying that it wasn't them. I bet it was fucking Israel. What is this? What? You mean somebody made chili that was so fucking spicy that they thought there was a biological weapon deployed in New York City? Is that what they're saying right now? That's the craziest shit I ever heard in my life. My boy just goes, can't wait to get murdered by a Shaheed drone that missed Grand Central by 1 block. Oh, lordy. I heard they're running out of missiles. Iran? No, we are running out of ammo. We have been, Trump begged the Iranians for a ceasefire because we are running out of THAAD missiles. We need to rearm and reload. No, we're losing. We're losing right now. It's fucking pathetic. Why do you think that we called upon the UK and Canada to help us? Because we're fucking losing. We don't have the munitions to keep this going. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Worse than anything I could have ever fucking imagined, to be honest. I thought World War III was going to be a lot different than this. Both my exes are out there? Fuck yeah, dude. There they go. All right. Anyway, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, helps me immensely. And do me one last favor. Be brave. Be brave. Be strong. Don't do anything I would do. All right? Bye, guys. Later.